Hey guys, Micros here with another video. Today I'm just going to go over beginner stages of progression for ninjas. I won't go over advanced things, not in this video. I'm going to save that for another one where we talk about more PvP related things. This is generally a gear progression guide for people who's going from level 1 all the way through level 55-ish, I guess, 56, or to Awakening. So probably level 1 through Awakening, okay? So we just start the game. I'm going to choose amongst, you can choose amongst several different sets. I'm going to recommend in this video the Jiren set or the Rokaba set. The reason why I might go with the Jiren right now because it's easier to upgrade or build on or find, period. Almost all the Rokaba pieces are very hard to get in large numbers because no one farms the areas as often to sell them in the marketplace. With that being said, I'm going to set you up with your first build and I'm going to go over the pieces and why I chose those pieces. Okay guys, so this is your beginner set basically. Your set should look something like this if you're a ninja, and I think you guys should strive for this set. So now let me talk about the reasons I chose these pieces. First is the Grundle armor set. I chose the Grundle armor set because attack speed is very important for ninjas, especially for animation canceling, and it's very cheap. I'm also talking about price, not just best in slot for you know, non-boss gear or whatever. I'm thinking about pricing and being realistic about average players and pricing. So I think this is a very affordable beginner setup, and it will give you a lot of good helpful stats for you to level on. So let's start with the Jiren. The Jiren will give you attack speed, which I think is very important on ninjas, and as well as movement speed, cast speed. Also give you general 150 HP for tankiness, as well as I think that's just about it actually. Yeah, okay. This one doesn't give you accuracy, and as well. Okay, so we got movement speed, and they give you resist as well. So anyway, it's generally easy to upgrade, easy to find the marketplace, easy to buy, very cheap pieces. That's why I recommend it, and it gives you fairly reliable stats that can carry you for a while. Now for earrings, just go with the general green AP earrings until you have more money at a later date. Barris earrings, I do recommend you smashing them without using fail stacks because it is very cheap. It is not worth the black stones for fail stacks. The belt is Schultz Gladiator belt. It'll give you additional 50 stamina and a 60 weight limit, as well as its 3 AP. But the real reason it's best in slot for beginners is because it's very cheap and it gives you reliable amounts of stats. So definitely socket this. This will be anywhere from 1.5 to 2 mil right now at the moment, the current market, and I think that's fairly affordable for a new player and realistic. Now Rosar short sword is scarce, but I don't recommend you getting anything else besides Rosar or Kreia. Kreia is extremely easy to upgrade because it's all over the market. Rosar is harder to upgrade because it's more rare, but it's still, in my opinion, the best slot weapon choice for leveling before you get your main boss gear weapons. Now Astique Shuriken, offense with ninjas is going to be a dance. You're going to be switching offense a lot between different stages and situations in the game for ninjas. So ninjas will never have a solid permanent offhand, but the AP offhand is good for beginners. You want to build AP as fast as possible in the early stages and not worry too much about accuracy until later days. Barris necklace is also fairly cheap. It's a good AP necklace to start off with. It gives you 2 AP per upgrade. It's very easy to find in the marketplace and very affordable to upgrade for new players. Okay, now let's talk about Ring of Good Deeds. Ring of Good Deeds is very cheap for the stats it gives. This will give you a little bit of accuracy and pretty much all the accuracy you need for a long time. You can be carried by these rings for a pretty long time once you upgrade them. They're very cheap to come by. There's over 1,000 in the marketplace. Very cheap to upgrade. You can just smash them together. Yeah, you can actually find this at the prize stage, usually being sold by over 1,000 of these at the prize stage in the marketplace. I do recommend you guys shoot for at least dual Ring of Good Deeds after you upgrade your weapons because it's very cheap and easy to do. Alright, so this is your foundation, guys. Okay, so if you're a new ninja starting, I like to believe this is a good foundation to start off on. This whole foundation package will be an estimate of about, I want to say, $4 million, with the belt being the most expensive part. It's about $4 million just to get the general pieces together. Now what I recommend is that you pick up your black stones and just socking them into your gear. So armor goes to +5 without failing, and weapons goes to +7. So with this, I want to recommend pick any black stones you pick up to actually sock it in your gear, and just to give you a general upgrades to carry you through like early stage leveling. You can also get a lot of black stones from the actual Black Spirit quest. Guaranteed black stones if you complete a certain portion of the Black Spirit quest. I do like to believe going through Black Spirit Quest is very helpful for new players, especially from the 1 through 30 stages. It's very good to do the Black Spirit Quest in my opinion. But I don't know what's changed in the way the quest doesn't work, so to each their own on that one. So let's get all these things to +5, and we're going to talk about what you do next at this stage. Okay guys, so this is stage 2 of your beginner progression. Once your armor is all on this stage, I think, sorry, once the armor is all on this stage, I like to say leave your armor alone if you can, and just focus on enchanting your weapon and offhand as much as possible. If Rosar's short sword seems too rare on your server or currently in the game for you, switch this Rosar option with the Kreia option. Once again, Kreia or Rosar I think are best options. Better in slot versus affordability and scarcity. So if upgrading this is too hard because you can't find enough Rosar short swords to repair it with for upgrades, then always go with the Kreia option in my opinion. It'll give you it'll give you 2 crystal slots, which is very important for what new players are going to be aiming for. More important than the other options that don't give you a single slot but other bonuses. So 67 AP, 61 DP. Your armor should look something like this. You don't worry about upgrading your armor at this point. You'll worry about just upgrading your weapons and some of your accessories at this point. Okay, so most likely if you're at this point you have enough silver, so I'm going to recommend you try to get this when you enter on stage 3. I'm going to recommend you try to get your accessories to at least duo. Do not fail stack on these green accessories, they are dirty cheap, so I do recommend you just smash them. So keep smashing them. Ring of Good Deeds, you can buy them at Pry and you can just enchant them and just keep smashing these until they get to duo. You can use a Cronstone if you want to go for Try, but don't use a Cronstone before the stage of Try. So your accessory should look something like this. Get Duel's Barris Necklace, shouldn't be super hard. It should be fairly cheap. And if you can, go for Pry Schultz, depending how much money you're making. If you're leveling extremely fast, you probably won't be able to do this until you're in the 50s, but leveling on a normal day, a non-EXP weekend, and then as a beginner player, and if you're taking your time, then you should be able to have these type of gains around like level 40 something. Alright, so this is what your gear should look like at the end of stage 2. Now let's progress to stage 3. At stage 3, you're going to keep enchanting your weapons, and you're going to just buy the, if you can, you're just going to buy a +15 set. I always recommend buying a +15 set at this stage, or enchanting yourself as a final option, but I prefer buying +15 sets. So let me show you the set that you'll be working with at stage 3. Okay guys, this is stage 3 with a gear score of 282, full +15 in duo accessories excluding the belt. This is a good stage to be at once you level 50 to 53, and you should be able to handle a decent amount of mobs and PvE content without the need of help. Now let's talk a little bit more about why this is a good stage. Now in my opinion, you reach kind of a fork in the road. If you have +15 Agerian, keep the Agerian and might as well just make it duo. If you stopped at +5, if you reach the +5 stage and you chose a different option, that's also a viable thing to do depending on how much silver you have. So Agerian is a good set. The main reason I like to choose Agerian because I am an attack speed junkie. This is still my opinion. There is no like best way to gear your character. Honestly, it's all about opinions and what image you have in your head, you know. So the reason why I chose Agerian is because I'm an attack speed junkie. It gets a nice amount of attack speed as well as HP for survivability. But another reason why, the main reason I chose this is because getting max attack speed is very easy, and all you gotta do now is get a little bit more crit rate without having a Zarka. So what you're gonna do is socket these crystals at stage 3. So this crystal is fairly cheap crystal value that give you 2 crit rate. Okay guys, so this is where we'd be at stage 4. Stage 4, if depending on how wealthy you are, you can go for ultimate versions of all these gears. That'll raise your DP up as well as your AP and your damage. If you do go for Getting ultimate is can be a little tricky if you're doing it yourself. So if you can buy an ultimate version, then by all means. That's the main reason I didn't talk about ultimate, because getting the weapon upgrade stones if you don't craft them yourself is a little bit pain in the ass at the auction house. But as you can see, let me talk about how I set up this build at stage 4. So stage 4, I got rid of your Barris and went for Pry Blue Corals. I went for Try Ring of Good Deeds. You can get Try Ring of Good Deeds fairly easy if you use a couple of Crown Stones so your things don't break, but it's fairly cheap. On this stage, you should be grinding places like Pirates and groups. You can't solo grind Pirates with this low DP yet. That'll be at stage 5. You'll be around levels 53 to 55 or 56, depending how fast you level. Like I said, if you're leveling on EXP weekend, you can be like level 56 in no time with complete trash gear because you leveled so fast. But this is like for like people who are progressing at the proper speed and not trying to over level and actually keep up with their gear enhancements. So I recommend going for your weapons to try first. Get that secure that damage as soon as you can. Getting your weapons to try can be fairly difficult, so I recommend keeping your armor at plus 15 until these go to try, and then get the rest of your armors to like pry. But save your resources again these to try as soon as possible. Fill stacks for me, in my opinion, is start at 15 to get your thing to pry, start at 20 to get your thing to duo, and start at 35 to get your things to try. So these two, get these two to try as possible. Weapon first, then offhand. Offhand gives you less AP. Then you get your armor to pry, which is not too hard. It takes about 15 fail stacks and then spamming concentrated armor stones. Getting prior blue coral earrings can be expensive if your RNG guides aren't blessing you. So just take that in your own pace. You might want to keep Barris and go for Try Barris if you feel like that's a better chance of then going for a Pry Blue. Getting Try Ring of Good Deeds is also fairly cheap though, compared to the blue coral earrings. This is when the accessories start to cost you a little bit more money. Schultz necklace too is fairly more expensive. You can go for Try Barris if you think that's more cost effective, even though the RNG is slightly lower in your favor of it going to succeed. Again, the Pry is actually high success rate even though it's blue. If you get the proper fail stacks, which I recommend is about 25, you should have about 50% chance of success compared to a 20. Even though it's green, I think it's like 32% chance of success at try with proper fail stacks. So yeah, so probably this. This is maybe more expensive though. Right now, accessories are fairly expensive in the game. If you wait during the event to enchant your accessories, I consider that the best option because prices drop. So this will be the ending of stage 4. Now let's talk about stage 5, what your gear should look like when you're doing your awakening quest, in my opinion, and you're getting your awakened katana. And now I'm gonna end the video there, and I think I should conclude the beginner guide. All right, see you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, you're now level 56 or level 57. I do believe you should be around awakening time now. You should have your katana to at least plus 15 if you can, or higher, but I'll give you guys a benefit of the doubt, say getting duos fairly achievable. And this is what pretty much your build should look something along these lines. I do recommend keeping a green katana, it's cheaper to upgrade and then jump into dandy. And if you feel like the way your lifestyle is going with real life in the game, and you might be sitting with this weapon for a very long time before you get a proper chance to get a dandy, then go with the ultimate version. But I do suggest you buy the ultimate version if you can, instead of enchanting it yourself. Actually, sorry, I forgot to upgrade the ring. So pretty much at this stage, which is stage 5, I believe, you should be level 56 plus awakened. You should have around these amounts of gear stats. Why won't this go to duo? I clicked duo several times. Maybe I clicked the X button by accident. Okay, so you should be around these stats, guys. Pretty much you turn your gear ultimate, or you bought them ultimate, either or. You turn your gear ultimate, or you bought the ultimate versions. You should be sitting on this gear, in my opinion, to be the most. This is the most cost efficient. I'm talking about cost efficiency over everything. This should be the most cost efficient gear setup, in my opinion, until you start to get boss gear pieces. I mean, if you really don't think you have time to get a dandy anytime soon, I do suggest sitting at a try ultimate Yagakumu katana. but this is harder to get. This costs about 200 something mil, so it really depends how balling you are. But this, with this setup, you should be able to grind through anything. Literally, the Ring of Good Deeds accuracy will carry you. If you can get your Ring of Good Deeds 2 tet, this is for overachievers maybe. But either way, try or tet of these earrings is more than enough. You've done enough. Now just literally stop upgrading your gear, in my opinion, and start working on your either PvP or in boss gear set, whatever. But stop upgrading this set. This is a lot of mistakes, and I think a lot of people do. I mean, this is my opinion, so you watching this video for my opinion. I always think stop upgrading this set once it gets you around this stage. Do not invest any more resources in this set. That's it. Everything else will be moving towards putting all your resources and money aside to working on boss gear pieces. At this amount of AP and DP, you should be able to farm pirates fairly easy, in groups or solo if you choose to. This shouldn't be a set that pressures you into upgrading it any further. Going to try on armor that you're not going to main, to me, is a waste of resources, especially since it has a higher chance of failing and dropping back down. All those resources can be going towards boss gear, and I want to save that for the next video, which is the more advanced guides to gear progression for ninjas. Hopefully this gives you kind of a roadmap of how you proceed in your gear progression once you start the game, and then when you change over to getting more boss gear stuff. Now, once you change over at the end of this phase, you can get rid of your earrings and get red coral earrings. You can get rid of Ring of Good Deeds instead. Get rid of the accuracy from Ring of Good Deeds. Let the red coral earrings do the work for accuracy, and put in crescents. So a lot of things will be getting swapped out. Okay, so those of the red coral earring fanboys, don't worry guys, I know. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Mikers. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I always appreciate the love. Stay tuned for the next one where I talk about more intense gear progression builds. If ninjas, it gets really tricky. There's a lot of options. There is no one build to rule them all. So that's why ninjas is a lot more gear dependent. So if you like these type of videos and you want to know more and get involved with learning your ninja and getting ninja advice as well as maybe general class advice, then please stay tuned. Please subscribe. Always appreciate that. Once again, I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been Mikers. Peace.